shocking new details about King Charles and Prince William's fury at Prince Harry.
King Charles and Prince Harry are reportedly preparing to meet in the next week or two. Of course, Harry is coming to the UK in September for the Well Child charity. And apparently there's one member of the family not happy about this, Prince William, who is said to be furious at the idea of bringing Harry back into the royal fold.
He was shouting at me, I was shouting back at him. It wasn't nice, it wasn't pleasant at all. And he snapped, and he pushed me to the floor.
He knocked you over?
He knocked me over. I landed on the dog bowl.
You cut your back?
Yeah, I cut my back. I didn't know about it at the time.
Do you think that William will act decisively against his brother and the narcissistic Duchess of... Who doesn't want to be a Duchess, but she does if it sells books and television programmes. That's what I have a problem with. Do you think that William will forever banish him, or do you think there will be reconciliation? There was talk about reconciliation some months ago, wasn't there?
If not now, then when?
When Prince Harry apologizes and they feel like they can trust him. And I don't know if that will ever come to fruition. I mean, Meghan just did an interview with Bloomberg that has over 500,000 hits, where she basically regurgitates how miserable her life in the royal family was because she had to wear pantyhose.
I think probably it was different several years ago, where I couldn't be as vocal and I had to wear nude pantyhose all the time. Let's be honest, that was not very myself. I hadn't seen pantyhose since movies in the 80s when they came in the little egg. That felt a little bit inauthentic, but that's a silly example. But it is an example of when you're able to dress the way you want to dress and you're able to say the things that are true and you're able to show up in the space really organically and authentically.
I mean, that's not a family that's eager to reconcile. If you're a family that's eager to reconcile, you watch your words. You only speak positively. And when she went into not having a voice. There is real bitterness still there when you watch Meghan Markle talk about her very brief time as a working member of the British royal family. I don't think that this reunion is happening. I think that the king, you're coming from a place, you're coming from your heart, and I really admire that. But I think if King Charles's ultimate objective is to protect the future of the monarchy and to protect William's reign, then he has to continue to distance himself from Prince Harry, who's proven to be very destructive. Some would say, not a very truthful person, historical inaccuracies in his book Spare. Harry has been an incredibly destructive figure over the last 5 years.
I felt a growing sense of alarm. I came to realize what it meant for bullying, an age-old problem, sadly, to be supercharged by the power of social media. New, exciting platforms that, at their heart, want to help people make and maintain friendships. We're allowing bullies to take their abuse beyond the traditional theatres. I saw the example of my wife, Catherine. In her grief, she felt compelled to take action.
So Prince William just humiliated Prince Harry without saying a single word. No interviews, no ghostwritten memoirs, no Oprah sit-downs that look like therapy sessions. Just one cold, calculated move. And it crushed Harry harder than any tabloid ever could. William quietly dropped millions of his own money into renovating Forest Lodge. No taxpayer handouts, no Crown Estate freebies, just a future king pulling out his personal wallet to set a standard. And in doing so, he exposed Harry's biggest humiliation, the Frogmore fiasco. Remember that? Harry and Meghan spent $3 million of public money, turning a historic cottage into their dream home. Then, like spoiled tenants trashing an Airbnb, they abandoned it. Meghan said it wasn't glamorous enough. Harry sulked about privacy, and together they walked away, leaving taxpayers fuming. They only paid it back when the outrage became too loud to ignore. That wasn't duty. That was damage control.
Do you know what? The 5 years that I've been doing this job, solely, anything can happen with a royal family. Okay, you can barely predict what's going to happen. I think it would be, you're going to disagree with me, but I think it would be over the top because you never know, you might need Harry in 10 years' time.
For what?
From that, there is nothing grand about that property when you compare it to some of the other royal residences. And it is very much all in the wording.
Meanwhile, William's move screams the opposite: leadership, dignity, and independence. He didn't even need to mention Harry's name because every nail hammered into Forest Lodge is a reminder of Harry's hypocrisy. William shows strength in silence. Harry looks like a Montecito clown with koi pawns, lawsuits, and a Netflix contract nobody cares about anymore. One brother builds an image of the future king. The other spirals into bitterness, lawsuits, and victim speeches nobody buys. And deep down, Harry knows it.
I think that William is probably closer to how the Queen saw the monarchy than even his father is. I think there will be a lot more traditionalism, and I think he'll go back. I don't know, maybe you're right, actually.
So renovations are underway at Forest Lodge. We now know that this is the home they've chosen. It's their forever home. There's been some documents filed with the local council.
This wasn't just a renovation. This was a silent strike, one that hit him right where it hurts most, his image. And trust me, this humiliation was just the beginning. Let's rewind to the Frogmore catastrophe. Remember when Harry and Meghan pitched a royal tantrum because Kensington Palace wasn't shiny enough for them? They were gifted Frogmore Cottage, a quaint historic home in Windsor that 99% of people would love to live in. But to Meghan, it wasn't regal enough. Too small, too cottagey, too beneath her. So what did they do? They demanded renovations, $3 million worth, straight from the British taxpayers.
There's the whole kind of Frogmore Cottage debacle, and it's still ongoing.
Well, yes, I had a story in the Mail on Sunday at the weekend, which was about Frogmore Cottage. This was the place that they were given by the Queen, or they were allowed to lease it. It was their official residence, and the taxpayer spent £2.4 million doing it up.
Brand new kitchens, custom nurseries, Hollywood finishes. The whole thing became Meghan's personal HGTV episode. But then, plot twist, they abandoned it. All that money, all that work, and they barely stayed. Why? Because Meghan suddenly realized Windsor wasn't glamorous enough for her brand of Duchess cosplay. She needed California. She needed Hollywood. She needed a Netflix contract and a Montecito palace where the koi pond alone cost more than most people's homes.
All right, just finally, again, one of the behind-the-scenes secret negotiations here is Frogmore Cottage. Harry used to live in it, bang, out of it. Once he became no longer a working royal, it was a little too small for you-know-who.
And they were then there for nothing, which they never actually admitted to. They were grumbling about it and saying it was too small. It had 5 bedrooms. I don't think most of us would say that was too small.
And here's the detail that still burns. When they finally paid back that taxpayer money, it wasn't some moral awakening. It was because they were leaving the UK and couldn't stomach the backlash anymore. Damage control, not duty.
Now, my story at the weekend was, of course, they paid that £2.4 million back. We knew that.
But apparently they've found some free accommodation in England.
Yeah, I mean, this is also exaggerated, really. They could stay at Frogmore Cottage because they didn't want to be near William and Catherine. So they moved there, and the Queen paid for $2.5 million renovations, which they then paid back.
Now contrast that with William. He and Catherine are taking on Forest Lodge, a rundown Grade 2 estate with creaky windows, a groaning heating system, and repairs that would make most people cry. But instead of burdening the taxpayer, William pulls out his own checkbook. That's not just a renovation. That's a declaration of war, a silent, strategic dagger aimed right at Harry's most embarrassing scandal.
Place and a couple other kind of things, but the last time this property was renovated was 2001, so I'm sure Kate is probably want to get in there.
And the humiliation for Harry? Oh, it's about to get worse.
And I think he realizes that Harry and Meghan's brand has become incredibly toxic.
Here's where it gets brutal. Harry and Meghan have spent years painting themselves as victims of an outdated monarchy. Poor little Sussexes, cast aside by the evil royals. Meanwhile, what do? They build their own monarchy light in California, complete with a $14 million Montecito mansion, endless renovations, koi ponds, and security bills so outrageous they could fund an entire British village. Harry rants about being cut off financially while living in a mansion with 16 bathrooms. Meghan complains Frogmore wasn't glamorous enough while dropping millions on marble countertops and private yoga studios. These two don't know the meaning of modesty, and every time William quietly makes a responsible choice, it exposes just how shallow and hypocritical the Sussexes really are.
To me, it's just hypocritical and unfair. Do you know what I mean? I think a majority of Brits don't. I think they both struggle to come back. I mean, he would be all right, but I don't think she can ever come back to this country, do you?
No, every polling suggests that they're the two of the most unpopular royals. They're down the bottom with Prince Andrew.
Think about optics. William is showing his kids how to live in a family home without live-in staff, without unnecessary perks, without whining. Meanwhile, Harry is raising his kids behind fortress walls, shielding them from neighbors with privacy hedges taller than Tower of London, and crying about safety while suing the British government. It's not family life. It's paranoia dressed up as victimhood. And Meghan, she spent more time redecorating than she did performing actual royal duties. Every complaint, every demand, every glossy photo shoot screamed, "I'm not here for the tradition, I'm here for the aesthetic."
I've put so many feet wrong. I mean, it's been unbelievable. It's not just that they did things wrong. they've done some awful, horrible.
And her mask slips there. She can't help but go back to old grudges that she's buried away in the back of her mind that just jump out once you ask her the question.
Forest Lodge is a home. Frogmore was a stage set, but the true dagger, that came with William's deliberate choice. And insiders are saying it was no accident. William could have easily signed the paperwork and let the Crown Estate fund the renovations. That's how it's always been done. No one would have blinked. Instead, he made the choice to cover it himself. That wasn't just financial prudence, that was chess. Cold, deliberate chess. By rejecting taxpayer money, William forced every royal watcher to remember Frogmore. He didn't even have to mention Harry's name. He just lit the comparison on fire and stepped back as Harry burned in it. That's what PR insiders are calling a masterstroke, a calculated move that defines the narrative without uttering a single word.
We win.
When William does become king, so much has been written and so much has been said about the anger that he has felt and has kept inside. We know how important family is to him. With Kate, after everything she's gone through, and the boys, and the sweet girl as well.
It's the ultimate humiliation. William shows himself as humble, dutiful, grounded. Harry looks spoiled, bitter, out of touch. Meghan looks greedy, entitled, allergic to humility. And this is why William doesn't need interviews, documentaries, or book deals. His silence is louder than Harry's loudest rant. Every headline now reads the same. William sets new standard. William pays his own way. William, the future king. And right under those headlines, the shadow grows darker on Harry, because no matter how many speeches he gives or lawsuits he files, the optics are crushing him.
William specifically, of course, that he is the villain.
If they just keep Meghan close, indulge her career and everything they need, they can get the big fish, which is Harry maybe doing a Diana documentary or doing more documentaries, maybe when his brother becomes king.
Mind-blowing. As I said, who is their target audience exactly? Because I just cannot see anybody that's pro-monarchy.
As William rises, Harry sinks. Montecito life is supposed to be glamorous, but the cracks are showing. Spotify cut them loose. Netflix is quietly regretting that mega deal. Meghan's Archetypes podcast became a global punchline. And Harry, he's spending millions on legal battles he keeps losing. Security bills, private jets, endless lawsuits. Harry's lifestyle is chaos. He sues tabloids, he sues governments, he sues anyone who dares look at him wrong. It's not the life of a royal. It's the life of a paranoid celebrity who can't admit he made a catastrophic mistake. Meanwhile, Meghan keeps playing the victim while quietly burning through money. Frogmore wasn't good enough, but neither is Montecito. She wants more renovations, more upgrades, more prestige, yet every deal she touches collapses. Their empire isn't building, it's crumbling.
But I just, as a royalist, Matt, it sticks in my craw that this couple don't want to be part of something. That's fine, that never worried me. Good luck to you. But then to only use, and you bring that example up here today, Bloomberg, to then only ever get column inches or press coverage by going back to bashing the very thing that sustains their lives.
Yes, Harry's definitely a victim here. Nasty, mean Prince William.
Compare that with William and Catherine. No whining, no lawsuits, no victimhood tours. Just quiet duty, dignity, and focus. The public sees it, the press sees it, and Harry, he sees it too. That's why he's spiraling. That's why he's bitter. Every success William has feels like another nail in Harry's coffin. But William's move wasn't just about optics. It was part of a bigger game plan. And that's where the conspiracy angle comes in. This wasn't just about a house. This was about the monarchy's survival. William knows the crown is hanging by a thread. Public trust is weak. Scandals have rotted the family name, and he's determined to rebuild it piece by piece. Forest Lodge isn't just a home. It's a statement. No flashy palaces, no royal entitlement, just a family living quietly, paying their way, raising their kids like normal people. It's the exact opposite of everything Harry and Meghan stand for. Insiders say William has even rejected Charles's rumored peace plans with Harry. No staged reconciliations, no fake smiles for cameras, no olive branches for the brother who set fire to the monarchy for Netflix checks. William knows the public doesn't want a peace deal, they want accountability, and William is giving it to them in silence. Catherine was spotted personally picking out furniture for Forest Lodge. Tasteful, elegant, nothing flashy. Meanwhile, Meghan is known for blowing through design budgets like a kid in a candy store. One wife is choosing chairs with quiet grace. The other is choosing chandeliers that scream insecurity. William and Catherine are raising their kids to know value. No live-in staff, no spoiled entitlement. The kids are learning chores, family dinners, and normalcy. Meanwhile, Harry's kids are growing up in a compound guarded like Fort Knox, shielded from the very world Harry claims he wants them to know. It's hypocrisy on the highest level. Every choice William makes widens the gap. Every move Harry makes digs the hole deeper. Books, interviews, lawsuits, they all scream desperation. William's silence screams power. And Meghan, she's running out of plays. Archewell is collapsing, their brand is mocked, and Hollywood is already turning the page. The message is clear. William builds. builds. Harry complains, William pays. Harry sues, William inspires, Harry embarrasses. And with every passing day, the contrast becomes humiliating. Here's the truth. The silent war between William and Harry is already over, and Harry lost. Not because William shouted louder, but because he never had to shout at all. One house renovation, one symbolic move, and the future king buried his brother without lifting a finger. Forest Lodge is more than bricks and mortar. It's a PR wrecking ball. It's proof that the monarchy can evolve while Harry and Meghan sink in their own hypocrisy. William didn't just renovate a house, he renovated the crown's reputation. And in doing so, he left Harry looking like the bitter, petty, washed-up spare he is. The crown doesn't need Harry. The public doesn't believe Harry. And every tantrum he throws just proves why William is the heir and Harry is the failure. The monarchy already knows who their future is. And it's not the man whining about koi ponds in Montecito. So now the question is yours. Do you think Harry has any chance of clawing back dignity? Or has William already crushed him forever with this one silent move? Drop your thoughts below, because this silent war just became impossible to ignore. And while you're at it, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next royal bombshell we uncover. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed my content, feel free to check out some of my other videos on the top of the screen. Until next time, stay tuned, stay safe, and stay informed. Only on Tea Time with Tina.